This week on Yes, We're Back and the Daily Doses, we have a pretty awesome lineup. Starting on Monday, we have Nathan Helberg with Zoo, and it's Z-U-U or Z-U-U if you're Australian or New Zealand. Nathan has just done an amazing job of spreading what he's incredibly passionate about, and he's really passionate about this unloaded movement. And he has what he's now launching called a Zoo in 2. And I encourage all of you to go and check out the Zoo Facebook page. And you'll see literally he's working with different groups around the world basically every day, spreading the word of Zoo. It's a group format. It's an individual format. It's extremely challenging. And as Nathan likes to put it, it's a bit of a mind game as well, too. Fantastic. He's going to take us through some of the fundamentals of Zoo. And then each and every month, as we see more from Nathan and more from Zoo, he'll expand onto that for us. Next on that lineup, we have Jill Miller, and if you haven't met Jill Miller, you haven't read Jill's book, you don't know about Jill Miller with Tune Up Fitness and the Role Model book and even Yoga Tune Up. Jill is one of the best, I'm going to say, body workers around that I've ever met. She understands the body incredibly well. She understands by putting load through balls and putting body weight through balls, the effects that it can have on everything from the sympathetic to the parasympathetic nervous system, and just great. So Jill's starting with us one which is called Rib Reset, and it's a way to really get the rib cage realigned for not just for breathing, but for everything to do with stress and that parasympathetic tone. So fantastic one from Jill. And then moving on, we have Craig Harper. Now, Craig Harper, to anyone that doesn't know Craig is based in Melbourne, Australia, and he's become very well known in the space of change. And he talks a lot about fitness professionals and just people in general who think a lot of fitness has to do with exercise, and talks about how there's just such a much larger component around that, which is the mind. And then really talks about how do you go about changing the mindset. So Craig is very funny, very typical Australian, likes to swear. And Craig's going to be doing monthly segments for us as well too. So Craig will lead off on Wednesday, and then on Thursday you have the one and only Anthony Carey, AC as we know him lovingly in the industry, who's showing us a little bit of things on and off of the cortex. So he's showing you traditional ways to do things, and then showing you how to add a little bit of, sometimes it's extra load, sometimes it's rotation, sometimes it's just more instability into some of those traditional movements on the cortex, which is phenomenal. Now, obviously, cortex has been out there for 6 or 7 years now. So AC will be giving us regular monthly hit-outs for that as well, too. So you can expect him on Thursday. And then rounding it out on Friday, a really fun off-the-post interview that I did with Stacey Lee Krause, who was really one of the innovators really talking about barefoot training. So when she had Willpower and Grace out of New York, she was one of the pioneers and then worked with Nike really a lot around the barefoot surge. And she really talks a lot about taking care of your feet. And so what she's talking about here is really prep and barefoot prep really for people who are going for a run. So we've got some really great lineups from Colorado to Burbank with Jill, and then to Craig, who's based in Melbourne, and then obviously Nathan is all the way out in Florida. So great lineup. That's what's coming up this week. I hope you guys can join in with us. It's the Daily Dose on Yes, We're Back.